welcome to Raylan Tries Knitting, and I'm a pretty beginner knitter, and I wanted to share today the 5 things that are scaring me the most as a beginner knitter and what I'm doing to address them, or if I'm just not addressing it and I'm pretending it doesn't exist. I feel like everybody, when they're a beginner, or even past a beginner in something like knitting where there's just so much knowledge that it's almost impossible to know anything, maybe totally impossible, you're gonna have things you're really afraid of. And so I wanted to share what mine are. So starting at number 5, cables. I was really afraid of cables. I'm still a little afraid, but I was really afraid of cables, and I figured I should just try it out. So on the sweater that I'm currently knitting, I did just a basic cable on the arm, and I have found out that I love cables. I don't know why I was so afraid. I was really afraid of cables, actually. And honestly, after doing this project, it's not done yet. I finished the body. I thought I wasn't gonna make it kind of cropped, but then I was getting so sick of making the body, and it's a little bit cropped, but it's fine. It's superwash, and I'm also really short. I'm 5'4", which is pretty average, I guess, but it looks fine. But I think after knitting this sweater, I want to do a cable sweater. I feel like this has inspired me so much, and I'm glad that I actually addressed this fear, because it turns out I love it. I love cable so much. I think it's so much fun, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. So it's no longer totally a fear, but it was a really big one for a while. Number 4, German short rows. Okay. I'm pretending German short rows don't exist. I'm not pretending that short rows don't exist, but I'm pretending that German short rows they're not there. When I was knitting, again, this sweater, I was looking up how to do German short rows, and I said, I'm not doing that. I'm actually not going to do that. But I looked up Japanese short rows, and it made so much sense to me. And I did include 8 rows of Japanese short rows. Or at least, yeah, 8 extra rows on the back in comparison to the front. And I'm so glad with how it turned out. I almost wish I added even more, but it turned out great, and I think I'm going to stay afraid of German short rows and just do Japanese short rows, because you're kind of getting the same outcome. I just want to say that for knitting Japanese short rows, it's the first video that's recommended on YouTube when I search it up, but how to knit Japanese short rows from 10 years ago from Knitting with Suzanne Bryan. Go look at that video. If you're struggling with short rows, that video is going to teach you everything that you probably need. I was so happy with how she explained it, and it just totally clicked in my mind, so I would recommend that video. Okay guys, number 3. This is almost embarrassing. I'm really afraid of knitting flat. I have only ever knit in the round or with double pointed needles, which is knitting in the round as well. So I have a very genuine, do not make me knit flat. I feel with doing Japanese short rows, it kind of let me dip my toes into knitting flat, because I had to go back and forth. I couldn't just go round and round. I had to go back the other way. It made me do that. And it was truly a frustrating process to learn. I'm not so afraid of it anymore. I feel I maybe could do it. But to be honest, 2 years ago when I first tried to start learning to knit, I tried on learning flat. I tried using straight needles, and I don't even know what I made. I didn't make anything. I don't know what it was. It was yarn tangle mess. I think I wasn't doing my purls correctly, and I figured that out now. But yeah, I'm still really afraid. I'm really afraid of it. I kind of just don't want to do it at all. I think I'll have to. I'm gonna do it, but it's scary. Number 2 is increasing from nothing. I've been kind of bamboozled. This is like, sorry guys, I've been kind of bamboozled about like the Oslo hat and the fat fur hat and the Musselburgh hat. I hope I said that right. I've been like kind of bamboozled. Like the way that they are knitted is you start at the bottom from nothing, and then you do increases, and then you knit straight, and then you do decreases. And I knit a ton of hats this past Christmas time. The tree's up. It's mid-January. Sorry guys, the tree stays up until probably like February. But I knit a whole bunch of hats, and the way that I did it is I just knit a tube, I did decreases, and then I picked up the stitches, and then I did more decreases. Where does the yarn come from? I feel like the way that I know how to do an increase is you're pulling up the yarn from the previous row. Where is it coming from? Maybe if I just do it, it will work out and make sense. But in my mind, I've really tried to think about it, and I don't know what's going on. So that's a fear of mine, and I have genuinely so avoided making one of those hats, doing increases up just to the straight tube part. I'm so scared of it. I don't know why, but I'm so scared of it. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand where it comes from. So I think I'm going to challenge myself to learn how to do it by just doing it. I think at some point this year, I just need to rip off the Band-Aid and try it out, and I think it will work out okay. I don't know how, but I think it'll work. My number 1 fear, which is very related to my number 3 fear, is seamed sweaters, or like separate front and back yokes. Basically, anything that's not a raglan or a circular yoke. This is a raglan. I've knit another raglan, and I've not finished it. I need to finish it. But I can do a raglan. A circular yoke, it makes sense. I don't necessarily love the fit of a circular yoke. I don't like the look as much. But when we're doing like the front and the back separate, what's going on? I feel like this comes back to my fear of knitting flat. Like I don't want to go back and forth. And when you tell me that I'm not knitting in the round, I'm like, whoa, how are we doing this? Because I think we're going to have to knit flat. I think one of the ways I have to deal with this. I think this is something like a fear of mine that I have to get past in order to actually advance in my knitting, because so many patterns are going to have a separate front and back yoke construction, or they're going to be seamed. And there are so many designs I really like, and I see that. And so I think I just need to do it. Yeah. Fortunately, I have a whole bunch of Lane Cloud tweed yarn right now. And I'm like, well, I should do like a glow light raglan. But I have enough for 2 sweaters. And a little bit more, honestly. I think I need to do something like the cloud sweater. Okay, well, maybe something like this. I don't know, like I really want to make something like that. Oh my gosh, I just turned yellow. Oh, that was weird. Okay, so I think I have to get over that fear to be able to do a lot in knitting. So yeah, I think I'm taking the right steps forward. If you guys have any recommendations of sweaters I should do, things I should do to conquer these fears, you should let me know. I will say I'm not afraid of color work, at least. I'm so glad I'm not afraid of color work. That was the very first project I ever did, was color work. I'm not afraid of double pointed needles. I'm so happy about that. So yeah, I've got a couple things to conquer, but it is gonna happen this year, and I'm going to expand my knitting knowledge and get this stuff done. So thank you so much for joining me. If you liked the video, and if you want to follow along with my knitting journey, definitely hit the subscribe button. I am going to be talking a little bit about the sweater that I'm knitting, which is technically kind of my first, sweater I'm finishing. So come check it out. And then I also am definitely going to talk about all those hats that I made for Christmas. They did turn out really, really great. And do you want to share about that for maybe other beginners? I definitely want to share how I made them because it's super beginner friendly and you don't have to worry about increases. You're just doing decreasing and just knitting in the round. So yeah, I hope to see you around and thanks for joining me.